The Washington quarter, minted in various forms since 1932, has a rich history and continues to hold significance among collectors and investors. The 1973 Washington quarter, in particular, reflects both the artistry of coin design and the economic context of its time. This piece will explore its value, historical significance, and broader implications in numismatics. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin features a profile of Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, symbolizing American freedom and strength. The initial run aimed to replace the standing Liberty quarter and was intended to be a temporary design. However, due to its popularity, the Washington quarter became a standard coin. Economic climate of the early 1970s. By 1973, the United States was facing a period of economic instability marked by inflation, rising unemployment, and shifts in monetary policy. The early 1970s were characterized by the end of the Bretton Woods system and the transition to fiat currency. This era's economic challenges influenced coinage production, including the materials used in minting quarters. The 1973 Washington quarter was produced in three major mint locations: Philadelphia No Mint Mark, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Each mint contributed to the overall circulation of the quarter. Philadelphia, 130 per million for 141,000. Denver, 98,970,000. San Francisco, 2,325,000 proof. The total production for this year was significant, indicating a strong demand for quarters for everyday transactions. Composition. The 1973 quarter was made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, which includes 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. This composition was introduced in 1965 as a response to the rising costs of silver, which had been used in earlier quarters. The shift to a clad composition was part of a broader effort to ensure the availability and affordability of circulating coinage. The obverse of the 1973 Washington quarter features the familiar profile of George Washington. The design includes the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year of minting. The reverse depicts an eagle, a symbol of American liberty and pride, alongside the inscriptions "United States of America" and "Quarter Dollar." John Flanagan's design has been praised for its balance and clarity. The details of Washington's profile, along with the bold representation of the eagle, contribute to the coin's aesthetic appeal. The 1973 quarter retains the classic elements that have made the Washington quarter a staple in American currency. Current market value. As of 2023, the value of a 1973 Washington quarter in average circulated condition is approximately 25 cents, as it is still primarily used in everyday transactions. However, uncirculated examples and those in pristine condition can command higher prices, often ranging from $1 to $5. Proof versions from the San Francisco Mint can be valued higher, especially if in original packaging, often fetching between $5 to $15 or more depending on their condition. Factors influencing value. Condition. The state of the coin is a major determinant of value. Coins graded as mint state, MS, or proof will typically sell for significantly more than those in average circulated condition. Mint mark. Quarters from different mints can vary in value. The Philadelphia Mint No Mark typically has lower values compared to the Denver D and San Francisco S mints, especially the proof coins. Rarity. While the 1973 quarter is not particularly rare, certain varieties or unique finds, such as error coins, can increase interest among collectors. Market demand. Trends in coin collecting can fluctuate, and certain years may see increased demand based on collectors' interests. Varieties and errors. Common varieties. While the 1973 Washington quarter itself does not have widely recognized varieties, collectors should always be aware of potential minor variations due to the minting process. Some of these might include differences in die wear or slight variations in design. Errors. Errors in coin production can significantly increase a coin's value. Some known errors for the 1973 Washington quarter include double die, A misalignment during the die production can create a double image on the obverse or reverse. Such errors are sought after and can command a premium. Clipped planchette. Occasionally, the metal strip that is punched to create blanks may be clipped improperly, resulting in a coin that has a portion missing. These can be quite valuable to collectors. Wrong planchette. If a quarter is struck on a different type of coin's planchette, for example, a nickel, it can create a unique error that is highly collectible. Cultural significance. Commemorating American values. The Washington quarter not only serves as currency, but also embodies American ideals. As a coin depicting the nation's first president, it represents leadership, integrity, and the foundational values of the United States. In 1973, amidst economic turmoil, the quarter served as a reminder of resilience and continuity in American society. The 1973 Washington quarter remains a popular item among collectors, particularly those focused on modern coins. It is often one of the first coins that new collectors pursue due to its accessibility and historical significance. The Washington quarter series as a whole offers a fascinating glimpse into American history and numismatic trends. The 1973 Washington quarter dollar is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. Its blend of artistic design, economic context, and collectability makes it an enduring item for both casual collectors and serious investors. While it may not hold significant monetary value in average circulated condition, its historical context and the potential for errors or rare varieties enhance its appeal. As the coin continues to circulate and be appreciated, it stands as a testament to the legacy of George Washington and the resilience of the American spirit. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar. Analyzing the 1980 to Washington quarter value in 2024, most valuable in history auction for $10,100. If you have the 1982 quarters, now is the time to get value out of them. The 1982 quarter has caught the eyes of collectors in recent times. Hence, it's good you know what they're worth right now. This guide will benefit you if you're looking to pocket a few bucks or even make thousands from your old coins. The U.S. Mint released several coins over the last 4 decades. Today, collectors have taken a particular interest in them and are willing to pay more for this old money. The scarcer they are, the higher their value. That's what we can say for the 1982 Mint, which became valuable when they were rare to find. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Rarity. History of the 1982 Washington quarter. The 80s was a time of the worst recession in the United States. During this time, many people faced the problem of unemployment, and the economy was challenging. Fast forward to 1982, the United States Mint decided to make a couple of quarters, becoming a workhorse coin in the economy. As a result of the recession, many people put these coins to use as a means of exchange. Eventually, there weren't many of these coins left unused. Unlike other valuable old coins, the quarters were in circulation, and because of the recession, not many people saved. Since it was a widely used coin, only a few people thought of hoarding it. It wasn't expected to be a rare commodity, but the 1982 quarters have surprisingly become a rare find. The 1982 quarters were made to have uncirculated business, strike coinage. They were part of the souvenir sets minted by the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The souvenir set included one each of 1 cent, nickel, dime, quarter, and half-dollar coin. There wasn't any $1 among these sets. You could get the 1982 souvenir sets at gift shops. The Denver Mint came in the darker blue envelope, while the Philadelphia Mint was in the light blue envelope. At gift shops, one could purchase the set for $4. The U.S. Mint stopped making the annual uncirculated 1982 quarters in the same year. It was discontinued due to the rising recession and the need for budget cuts from the government. While there was no more mintage of the 1982 quarters, the Mint officials had a chance to offer their uncirculated variations of the souvenir set. Many offered their 1982, such as Cross Publications, which had the largest of the 1982 quarters, a coin dealer in Illinois, Paul H. Judy's Coins, is another prominent supplier of these uncirculated 1982 coins. Today, these coins form a significant part of collectibles among numismatists. Another thing to note is that the quality of the 1982 quarters was superior to other coins contained in these souvenir sets, which is why it has remained valuable. How valuable is the 1982 quarter? The 1982 quarters are worth more than their face value. Collectors have sought these coins over the years due to their rarity. Today, many people look for the 1982 quarters, especially the lightly circulated ones. These coins are usually worth a premium value. One factor that influences the value of the 1982 quarters is its condition. Here's a table highlighting the different values of the 1982 Washington quarter in various conditions. If you have the 1983 quarters in extremely fine grade, it's certainly worth a lot. The 1982 quarters are worth a premium price at $63 or higher. The worth is even doubled when preserved in a perfectly circulated condition. You can get them sold for more than their 5C5 value. These coins have been sold for up to $4,000. In fact, the 1982 P quarter has sold for as high as $10,800 in a 2019 auction. How the value of the 1982 Washington quarters differs among variations. The Washington quarters were minted between 1932 to 1998. Throughout this period, the coins were minted in Denver, Philadelphia, and San Francisco. It's easy to identify where each quarter was made as they had mint mark. For the Philadelphia Mint, the quarters had P, D, Denver D, and San Francisco S. Here's a table showing the different variants of the 1982 quarter, how their mint mark differs, and their different mintage. The original design of the Washington quarters was by John Flanagan in 1932. The quarters had a 90 silver composition throughout 1964. However, this was superseded by a copper-nickel-clad coin. The quarters had the traditional date design, and the coin included an eagle on the reverse side. Let's examine the different variants of the 1982 quarter and their corresponding values. The 1982 P quarter was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The coin is worth 3 OK to 85 SK in the circulated version. However, if you're lucky to have it in an about uncirculated U version, you can get as much as $1,700 for this quarter. There were about 500,931,982 P quarters minted at the time. Like other Washington quarters, the Mississippi 3198-2 coin, you can get it for over $1. For coins in perfect condition and grade MS67 or higher, this coin is worth $300. If the coin isn't graded, you'll likely get less. The 1982 DQD quarter comes in a copper-nickel or copper-clad planchette. Like the other variations of the coin, it was also designed by John Flanagan and weighed 5.7 grams. 1982's Washington quarter. The 1982's quarter in good condition can be worth about $5Z. But if it's graded, you can get up to $5 for it, depending on the condition. The San Francisco Mint made 3,857,000 of these quarters in 1982. Unlike the 1982 P and 1982 D quarters, the San Francisco Mint coins were made only for collectors. These coins weren't released or circulated. Errors in the 1982 quarters. Like most old coins, errors are likely to be present among them. If you're familiar with collecting coins, you should know this. The errors, however, are good because they even add to the value. However, not all errors in the 1982 quarters will fetch you money. Some errors might even devalue the coin. So what errors should you look out for in your 1982 quarters? Before we discuss the errors in the 1982 coins, we'll look at how to identify them. How to spot 1982 quarter error coins. It's not an easy task finding an error on coins. However, knowing what to look for is important. Like most U.S. mints, the 1982 quarter also has identifiable errors. You can identify the errors by looking to find any abnormalities. There can be a mid-strike or a die flaw during the coin's production. However, the errors from worn-out coins usually don't have any value. The following methods can quickly help you decipher errors in the 1982 quarters. Searching. You can use a magnifying glass to check the coin. Look for every possible coin error on the coin. If there's one, it should be more obvious to see. You can search by using coin rolls, but it'll take much of your time. Etchy cherry picking. Here's another way you can search for errors in your 1982 quarters. This process involves looking through groups of coins. You'll search them individually and, if possible, with a coin lot during an estate sale. Types of 1982 quarter errors. Different errors have been detected in the 1982 quarters over time. We'll mention some of them as we proceed. However, before that, here's a quick overview of the most prominent ones and their associated values. Die errors. Sometimes during the minting process, die errors can ensue. The die error can affect the coin's surface's date, lettering, or images. There have been some double die errors or, like in this case of this 1982 poop quarter, a misaligned die error. Cheese strike errors. Another error observed on a 1982 coin is a strike error. This is also a minting error. It happens when the die is pressed into the coin. It can be a misaligned strike, or an off-center strike, or an off-center strike. It can also cause some other oddities on the coin. Mint mark error. The mint mark error is quite common in us mints. As we mentioned, each of the mints carries the letter of its location. So when, for instance, a Denver mint with a D mint mark isn't clear, that's an error. Here's a 1982 D quarter with a mint mark error. Additional tips. You should know that not all the errors you find on a coin are from the US Mint. Some errors can result from use. For instance, chipping, faded images, or letters aren't from the mint. If your 1982 quarter is damaged, it won't have any value because they aren't seen as errors. If you have a 1982 quarter value no mint mark error coin, you'll get between $1 and $9 for it. Moreover, at online auctions, a 1982 D quarter double die value can be up to $1,500 or more. The 1982 Washington quarters are more valuable than their 25's GI value. These coins gained value as they became rare over time, and very few people preserved them. One of the most notable sales was the 1982 Gould quarter, which sold at $10,000 to $100. Suffice to say, if you have the 1982 quarter grade and of good quality, you'll get value from it. How much is the 1982 D quarter value? The 1982 D quarter is worth more than its face value. Depending on its condition, you can get it sold at a reasonable price. For instance, a 1982 D coin in an extremely fine condition will go for about $2. At the same time, a near uncirculated coin will be worth $4. If you have a quarter with an MS68 grade, it could be worth $4,000. Do collectors of the 1982 quarter value error coins? Yes, like most Washington quarters, the 1982 quarter has recorded some errors. And collectors value these error coins since most add value to the coins. In fact, some sell for as high as $1,800. Some common errors in the 1982 quarter are double die, strike, through, and mint mark errors, among others. Are 1982 quarters very rare? Yes, most of the quarters that were made in the early 80s are considered rare. The 1982 quarters in MS68 grade are the rarest, because not many people stored these coins. It's even more difficult to find the MS67 grade. The PSGS has only been able to verify 14 MS67 1982 quarters so far. They were widely circulated until the government stopped its production, which caused them to be scarce. Next up, the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter Dollar. The 1976 Bicentennial Quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It is a tangible connection to a pivotal moment in American history. Its unique design, historical significance, and varying levels of rarity make it a cherished item for collectors. Whether you have a circulated quarter or a pristine silver proof, understanding the value and history of the 1976 Bicentennial Quarter enhances its significance and ensures its proper preservation for future generations. Bicentennial quarters were minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. They depict a Revolutionary-era American drummer, often called the drummer boy, on the reverse. They were minted between 1975 and 1976 and were struck with the dual date 1776 to 1976. Over 1.6 billion bicentennial quarters were struck, making them relatively common. Despite their abundance, they quickly gained popularity among collectors and the public because of their unique design and historical significance. As America continues to celebrate its rich history, the bicentennial quarter stands as a timeless reminder of the nation's journey toward independence and its enduring legacy. The 1976 bicentennial quarter is a significant coin in American numismatic history, commemorating the 200th anniversary of the United States independence. While the standard 1976 bicentennial quarters are quite common, there is a rare variant that has garnered much attention, the 1976 era quarter with no mint mark. This detailed exploration covers the history, characteristics, and value of this intriguing coin. The United States bicentennial celebration in 1976 was a monumental event, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. In honor of this occasion, the U.S. Mint released special bicentennial coinage, including the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins. These coins featured unique designs and were struck for 2 years, 1975 and 1976, bearing the dual dates 1776 to 1976. The bicentennial quarter was distinct in its design. The obverse side retained the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. However, the reverse side featured a unique design by Jack Lar depicting a colonial drummer with a victory torch encircled by 13 stars, representing the original colonies. This design was selected through a national competition and aimed to encapsulate the spirit of the American Revolution. The no mint mark error. Most bicentennial quarters bear a mint mark indicating their place of production. The Philadelphia mint quarters are typically marked with AP, the Denver mint quarters with AD, and the San Francisco mint quarters with an S. However, a small number of bicentennial quarters were mistakenly struck without any mint mark, a rarity that has fascinated collectors. The absence of a mint mark usually points to production at the Philadelphia Mint, as quarters minted there before 1980 did not carry a mint mark. However, the no mint mark era quarters from 1976 are unusual because they were expected to have the distinguishing mark for the bicentennial edition. Characteristics of the error coins. To identify a genuine 1976 era no mint mark bicentennial quarter, collectors should look for the following characteristics. Dual date. The coin should feature the 1776 to 1976 date on the obverse. Colonial drummer design. The reverse should display the iconic colonial drummer with the 13 stars. Absence of mint mark. There should be no mint mark present, particularly no P, D, or S. The lack of a mint mark is the defining feature and must be authenticated by a reputable coin grading service to ensure its legitimacy. Research. Thorough research on the coin's history, characteristics, and market trends is essential. Understanding the nuances of the 1976 era no mint mark bicentennial quarter can help make informed decisions. Condition and grading focus on acquiring coins in the best possible condition. Professionally graded coins from PCGS or NGC provide assurance of authenticity and quality, often translating to higher resale value. Reputable dealers purchase coins from reputable dealers or auctions to ensure authenticity. Beware of counterfeits or altered coins, which can deceive even experienced collectors. Storage and care. Proper storage and care of the coin are vital to maintain its condition and value. Use protective holders or cases and store coins in a cool, dry environment to prevent damage. Market trends. Stay informed about market trends and collector demand. Prices can fluctuate, so understanding the current market can help in making timely buying or selling decisions. The bicentennial legacy. The 1976 era no mint mark bicentennial quarter is more than just a numismatic curiosity. It is a piece of American history. The bicentennial celebration was a defining moment, reflecting the nation's pride and heritage. The commemorative coinage, including the quarter, serves as a tangible reminder of that period. For many collectors, the appeal of the bicentennial quarter extends beyond its monetary value. It represents a connection to the past and a celebration of American independence and spirit. The no mint mark era variant, with its unique story and rarity, adds an extra layer of intrigue and desirability. The 1976 era no mint mark bicentennial quarter is a fascinating coin with a rich history and significant value in the numismatic world. Its rarity and the story behind its production make it a prized possession for collectors and investors alike. Whether viewed as a historical artifact or a valuable asset, this era coin exemplifies the allure and excitement of coin collecting. As the market for rare and unique coins continues to grow, the 1976 era no-mint mark Bicentennial quarter stands out as a notable and cherished piece of American numismatic history. The 1976 Bicentennial quarter is one of the most iconic and celebrated coins in American numismatic history. Commemorating the 200th anniversary of the United States independence, this special edition quarter is cherished by collectors and history enthusiasts alike. In this comprehensive exploration, we will delve into the history, design, minting process, and current value of the 1976 Bicentennial quarter, providing a thorough understanding of its significance and appeal. Production and discovery. The exact number of era no-mint mark Bicentennial quarters produced is unknown, contributing to their rarity and allure. These coins were likely the result of a minting oversight, where plankets intended for Philadelphia mint production were mistakenly struck without the P mint mark. Over the years, these era coins have been discovered sporadically, often turning up in circulation or within collections, much to the surprise and delight of their finders. Their scarcity has made them highly sought after in the numismatic community. Market value. The value of the 1976 era no-mint mark Bicentennial quarter can vary significantly based on its condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. Here is a breakdown of the 713 influencing its market value. Condition. As with all coins, condition plays a crucial role in determining value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect uncirculated, MS, 70. Higher grade coins, particularly those in mint state condition, command higher prices. A no-mint mark Bicentennial quarter in mint state, MS, 62 MS, 70, can fetch a premium price, sometimes several $100s or more. Authentication. Due to the rarity and value of this era coin, authentication by a reputable grading service like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, is essential. An authenticated coin ensures buyers of its legitimacy and can significantly increase its market value. Demand. The demand for Bicentennial quarters, especially era variants, remains strong among collectors. Their historical significance and unique design contribute to their desirability. As such, prices can fluctuate based on collector interest and market trends. Rarity. The no-mint mark era is one of the rarer variants of the Bicentennial quarter. Its rarity, coupled with iconic nature of the Bicentennial coinage, drives its value higher than standard issues. In general, a circulated 1976 era no-mint mark Bicentennial quarter may sell for around $100 to $500, depending on condition. Uncirculated examples, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC, can range from $500 to over $3,000, with exceptionally high-grade specimens potentially commanding even more. Collecting and investing. For collectors and investors, the 1976 era no-mint mark Bicentennial quarter offers an appealing blend of historical significance, rarity, and potential for appreciation. Next up, the 1971 D quarter dollar. The 1971 D Washington quarter, minted in Denver, holds a special place in the series of Washington quarters that have circulated for many years. The Washington Quarter series. The Washington Quarter was first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design was based on a sculpture by John Flanagan and has remained largely unchanged in its basic form until the State Quarters program in 1999. However, many minor details, including mint marks, metal composition, and slight design modifications, have occurred over the years. From 1932 to 1964, Washington quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper, weighing 6.25 grams. However, after the Coinage Act of 1965, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of quarters to a copper-nickel-clad structure, which drastically altered the coin's metallic value. The 1971 D Washington Quarter. Minting and design. The 1971 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints in the United States, alongside the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints. In 1971, the coin featured the standard copper-nickel-clad composition, with a core of pure copper surrounded by layers of nickel-copper alloy. This change in composition occurred in 1965, replacing the previous 90% silver quarters, which made earlier silver quarters highly collectible. The obverse front of the coin features the iconic bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, facing left. Above Washington's head is the word Liberty, and to his left is the national motto, In God We Trust. The date 1971 is placed at the bottom of the obverse, with the mint mark D for Denver placed directly to the right of Washington's ponytail. On the reverse back of the quarter is the image of an eagle with its wings spread, holding a bundle of arrows in its talons, representing strength and preparedness. Below the eagle is an olive branch, symbolizing peace. The inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum out of many, one are placed above the eagle, while the denomination quarter dollar appears at the bottom. Production numbers and availability. In 1971, the Denver Mint produced approximately 258.6 million quarters. This high mintage number indicates that the coin is not particularly rare in terms of availability. Most 1971 day quarters were released into general circulation, and many remain in circulation today. However, finding a 1971 D Washington quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition can be more challenging due to the typical wear and tear from circulation. The high mintage numbers also mean that many of these quarters can still be found in pocket change, though most are worn from decades of use. Collectors who seek to add this coin to their collection often aim for higher-grade specimens, especially those graded by professional coin grading services. Varieties and errors. While the 1971 day quarter is not inherently rare, certain varieties and errors can increase its value significantly. Some of the most notable varieties include double die obverse DDO. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die obverse, where the details on the front of the coin appear doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. This error can make the coin highly valuable, especially in high grades. Off-center strikes. This error occurs when the coin is not properly centered during the striking process, resulting in a portion of the design being missing. The degree to which the coin is off-center affects its value. Clipped planchette. This error occurs when a portion of the coin's planchette, the blank metal disc used to strike the coin, is missing, leading to a clipped appearance. Depending on the size and shape of the missing portion, this error can be worth a premium to collectors. Some of these error coins can command prices ranging from a few hundred to several $1,000s, depending on the rarity and condition of the error. Value of the 1971 D Washington quarter. The value of a 1971 D Washington quarter varies greatly depending on its condition, any errors it may possess, and the current market demand. Here's a general breakdown of its value. Circulated condition. In average circulated condition, a 1971 day quarter is typically worth its face value of 25 cents. Due to the high mintage, circulated examples are common and do not hold much numismatic value. Uncirculated condition MS60 to MS65. Uncirculated quarters in mint state MS condition, especially those graded MS60 to MS65 by professional grading services, can fetch higher prices. These coins typically range in value from $2 to $20, with the value increasing as the grade improves. Gem uncirculated condition MS66 and higher. Quarters in gem uncirculated condition, graded MS66 and above, are much rarer and can be valued at $50 or more. The finest known examples, especially those with exceptional luster and strike quality, can command even higher prices. Error coins. As mentioned earlier, quarters with errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can be worth significantly more. Depending on the type and severity of the error, these coins can range in value from $50 to several $1,000s. For example, a double die obverse in high grade might sell for several $100s, while a dramatic off-center strike could fetch even more. Proof coins. Although the Denver Mint did not produce proof coins, collectors may be interested in 1971 proof quarters struck at the San Francisco Mint. These proof coins are made using specially prepared dies and plankets to create a mirror-like finish. A 1971's proof quarter, though not rare, can be valued at around $2 to $5, depending on its condition. Collectability factors. Several factors contribute to the collectability and value of the 1971 D Washington quarter. Condition. As with most coins, the condition of the coin is paramount in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved and show no signs of wear are highly sought after by collectors. Errors and varieties. As discussed, error coins and certain varieties can dramatically increase the value of a 1971 day quarter. Collectors are always on the lookout for these anomalies, and they are willing to pay a premium for rare errors. Historical significance. Although the 1971 day quarter is not particularly historic in its own right, it is part of the larger Washington Quarter series, which has been in continuous production since 1932. Collectors who focus on Washington quarters often seek to complete a set, which includes the 1971 D coin. Market demand. The value of any coin is ultimately determined by supply and demand. While 1971 D quarters are not scarce, the demand for high-grade or error coins can drive up prices. Market fluctuations and trends in numismatics also play a role in determining the value of this quarter. Eye appeal. Coins with strong eye appeal, including good luster, sharp strikes, and minimal imperfections, are more desirable to collectors. Even slight differences in eye appeal can result in significant price variations. Conclusion. The legacy of the 1971 D Washington Quarter. The 1971 D Washington Quarter is a common coin in the larger Washington Quarter series, but it still holds interest for collectors, particularly in high-grade, uncirculated condition, or with rare errors. The coin's value largely depends on its condition and any anomalies it may possess. As with many coins, rarity, demand, and historical significance all play a role in determining the ultimate worth of the 1971 day quarter. Collectors of Washington quarters often seek to complete a comprehensive collection that includes every mint mark and year, making the 1971 D an essential part of such a collection. Whether found in circulation or purchased from a dealer, this quarter continues to be a symbol of American coinage history, with the potential for certain specimens to be worth significantly more than their face value.
The 1965 Washington Quarter is a coin with a fascinating history, largely due to its transitional role during a significant change in U.S. coinage. In this comprehensive exploration, we will delve into the origins of the Washington Quarter, the circumstances surrounding the 1965 minting, the rarity of certain varieties of this coin, its value, and how collectors assess its significance. The history of the 1965 Washington Quarter is rich with economic and political implications, making it an essential subject for numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Historical context of the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Initially intended as a one-year commemorative issue, the design proved so popular that it became the standard design for the quarter, replacing the standing Liberty Quarter that had been in use since 1916. The original Washington Quarter was composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, a common composition for U.S. coinage at the time. The coin's obverse, featuring a profile of George Washington, was designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse displayed an eagle with outstretched wings. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, although modifications were made over time to improve the coin's strike and longevity. The economic shift of 1965, the year 1965 marked a significant turning point in the history of U.S. coinage. Following World War II, the demand for silver surged due to both industrial use and the growing popularity of silver coinage among collectors. The U.S. government began facing a shortage of silver, and by the early 1960s, the price of silver had risen dramatically. As a result, the intrinsic value of silver coins, including the Washington Quarter, began to exceed their face value, leading to widespread hoarding and a depletion of circulating coinage. In response to this silver crisis, the U.S. government took drastic action. Under the Coinage Act of 1965, the composition of U.S. coins was altered to eliminate silver content from circulating dimes and quarters. Starting with the 1965 Washington Quarter, the coin was struck from a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper. This change allowed the government to continue minting coins without the need for increasingly scarce silver, while also reducing the incentive for hoarding. The transition in the 1965 Washington Quarter, because of the transition from silver to clad coinage, 1965 quarters were not struck with any mint marks, meaning no coins were specifically designated as being minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This lack of mint marks applied to quarters minted between 1965 and 1967, after which mint marks were reintroduced in 1968. The production of 1965 quarters spanned several years as the U.S. Mint worked to phase out the use of silver in circulating coins and transition to the copper-nickel clad composition. To prevent confusion and potential hoarding during this transitional period, the U.S. Mint also decided to delay the release of coins dated 1965 until enough new copper-nickel coins could be produced. The 1965 Washington Quarter, therefore, represents a significant moment in U.S. Numismatic history, as it symbolizes the end of an era of silver coinage and the beginning of a new period of modern, base metal coinage. Rare varieties and errors of the 1965 Washington quarter. While the 1965 Washington quarter is generally not considered a rare coin due to its high mintage, certain varieties and errors from this year are highly sought after by collectors. These rare varieties can significantly increase the value of a 1965 quarter, making them much more valuable than their face value. 1965 silver quarter, perhaps the most famous and sought-after variety of the 1965 Washington quarter, is the 1965 silver quarter. Despite the official change to copper-nickel-clad coinage in 1965, a small number of quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These silver 1965 quarters are incredibly rare and valuable, as they represent an error in the minting process during a critical transitional period. To identify a 1965 silver quarter, collectors need to carefully examine the coin's composition. The easiest way to determine whether a quarter is made of silver or copper-nickel clad is to check the coin's edge. Silver quarters will have a solid silver-colored edge, while copper-nickel clad quarters will have a visible copper core along the edge. Additionally, a silver 1965 quarter will weigh approximately 6.25 grams, while a copper-nickel clad quarter will weigh around 5.67 grams. Silver 1965 quarters are extremely rare, with only a few confirmed examples known to exist. As a result, these coins can fetch prices ranging from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and provenance. Double die errors. Another rare variety of the 1965 Washington quarter is the double die error. Double die errors occur when a coin's design is accidentally struck twice, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the design elements. On a 1965 Washington quarter, this doubling is most often seen on the obverse, particularly in the lettering of Liberty or the date. Double die errors are highly prized by collectors due to their rarity and visual appeal. Depending on the severity and location of the doubling, a 1965 double die quarter can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes. Off-center strikes are another type of minting error that can occur during the coin production process. An off-center strike happens when the coin planchet, is not properly aligned with the coin press, causing the design to be struck off-center. The resulting coin will have part of the design missing and a blank area where the planchet was not struck. Off-center 1965 Washington quarters are rare and can vary significantly in value depending on the degree of the off-center strike. Coins with a more dramatic off-center strike tend to be more valuable, with some examples selling for hundreds of dollars or more. Value of the 1965 Washington quarter. The value of a 1965 Washington quarter depends largely on its condition and whether it exhibits any of the rare varieties or errors mentioned above. Here is a breakdown of the value ranges for different types of 1965 quarters. Standard 1965 copper-nickel clad quarter. The majority of 1965 Washington quarters are made from copper-nickel clad and are not considered rare. In circulated condition, these coins are typically worth only their face value of 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples or those in particularly high grades can be worth slightly more, with values ranging from $1 to $10 depending on the coin's grade. 1965 silver quarter. As mentioned earlier, 1965 silver quarters are extremely rare and valuable. The exact value of a 1965 silver quarter depends on its condition, but prices generally start at several $1,000s. In high-grade condition, these coins can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. For example, one of the few known 1965 silver quarters sold at auction for $7,050 in 2014. Since then, prices have only increased as collectors continue to seek out these rare transitional errors. Double die errors. The value of a 1965 double die Washington quarter depends on the severity and location of the doubling, as well as the coin's overall condition. Prices for double die error quarters typically range from $100 to $1,000, with particularly strong examples fetching even higher prices. Off-center strikes. The value of a 1965 Washington quarter with an off-center strike varies depending on the degree of the error. Coins with a minor off-center strike may sell for $50 to $100, while those with a more dramatic off-center strike can be worth several $100s or more. Grading and condition. As with all coins, the condition of a 1965 Washington quarter plays a significant role in determining its value. Coin grading is a standardized system used by numismatists to assess the condition of a coin, with higher grades indicating better preservation and fewer signs of wear. The most widely used coin grading scale is the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1, poor, to 70, mint state. Here's a brief overview of the different grades and what they mean for a 1965 Washington quarter. Good, G4 to G6. In this grade, the coin shows significant wear, with most of the details worn flat. The coin may have scratches, dings, and other signs of heavy circulation. A 1965 quarter in good condition is typically worth only its face value. Very fine, VF 20 to VF 35 coins in very fine condition show moderate wear, with most of the details still visible but slightly worn. The coin may have some luster remaining, but it will not be as shiny as an uncirculated coin. A 1965 quarter in very fine condition may be worth a few dollars. Extremely fine, EF 40 to EF 45 coins in extremely fine condition show only light wear, with most of the details still sharp and clear. The coin will have a fair amount of luster remaining and may be worth more than face value, depending on the market. About uncirculated, -50 Australian dollars to -58 Australian dollars. In about uncirculated condition, the coin shows only minor signs of wear, usually on the highest points of the design. The coin will retain much of its original luster and may be worth $1 to $10.